The Denver Nuggets were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs, so today we're going to be trading every single player on the Nuggets roster except for Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray are currently one of the best duos in the NBA, but a big problem they face is not being good defenders. So I think the key for us to win a championship will be to fill this team with some good defenders around Jokic and Murray, so let's go out there and see what we could bring in. So I've decided to throw Aaron Gordon and Christian Braun's horrible contracts in Trade Finder, and the Atlanta Hawks are offering us Nickeil Alexander-Walker and Dyson Daniels. Now he's a really good two-way player, he can score, he can defend, and Dyson Daniels is one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. We also save ourselves about $16 million in salary, so let's go ahead and pull off this first trade. So I've thrown Cam Johnson and Jonas Valanciunas in Trade Finder, and there's two trades that I'm contemplating about. One trade here with the Blazers that'll bring in Toumani Camara as a brand new starting power forward with Vic Krejci, but the problem is Camara, in my opinion, is a bit too undersized to be a power forward. He's not really the best rebounder, he can't rim protect. Whereas Naz Reid, the second trade that I am thinking about with the Timberwolves would be for Naz Reid and Donte DiVincenzo. Reid can actually rim protect, he can rebound and score. So I think this trade would make the most sense, and we get Donte DiVincenzo as the backup point guard behind Murray. So let's go ahead and pull off the second trade of this video. We do have to pick up the team option on Julian Strawther and a few more players before we could trade them away, but I do want to let you guys know we are so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, so it would mean the world to me if y'all could smash that subscribe button. And don't forget to hype the video and like the video. All three buttons are absolutely free and help out the channel and video a ton. We are also in need of a new head coach since our current head coach's contract has run out, and I was looking at all these people here, and this dude here, Daniel Finley, I believe would make the most sense. He has himself a 5-star defensive rating, so let's go ahead and offer him a 4-year deal, paying him about $7.3 million annually. And he will be accepting, so we get ourselves Daniel Finley as a brand new head coach. I have picked up the team option for Julian Strawther, Spencer Jones, Jalen Pickett, and Deron Holmes II, so now we can continue with trading them away. But before that, I do think we should re-sign ourselves Peyton Watson so we could use his contract and trade value to go get ourselves some better players. He is a member of the Denver Nuggets, so let's go ahead and re-sign him here, and then we'll continue with trading him, which he will be accepting the contract on a 4-year, $53 million contract and a player option on that 5th year. After throwing Peyton Watson and Zeke Naji in Trade Finder, there's not many good trade offers here for us. The trade that I do like is this one with the Blazers that'll bring in Toumani Camara and Vic Krejci. We were about to pull off the same exact trade earlier with some different players, but now we're going to make it happen with Peyton Watson and Zeke Naji. So we're going to be sending them Watson, Naji for Toumani Camara and Vic Krejci. The next trade is going to be with the Los Angeles Lakers, where we send them Julian Strawther and Spencer Jones for Dalton Knecht and a first-round pick. Knecht could possibly provide us with 3-point shooting off of our bench unit. I'm not sure if he's going to play, that all depends on how he progresses, but let's go ahead and pull off this trade. The final two players of the Denver Nuggets roster we're going to be trading away is Jalen Pickett and Deron Holmes II, and we get ourselves 2 first-round picks. We are finessing the Charlotte Hornets here, but let's go ahead and pull off this trade. After trading every single player except for Jokic and Murray, this is what the team is currently looking like, but we are still going to be signing some free agents, so that will make some adjustments as well. We do need ourselves a backup center, so let's go ahead and offer Robert Williams III a contract here. We're going to offer him a 4-year deal, paying him about $4.5 million. Is there anyone else we could use? Maybe a Luke Dort? Let me see which positions we still need to fill. And I am going to go ahead and offer Luke Dort a contract. I feel like his defense, two-way presence should be able to help out our team as well. I'm going to offer him a 4-year deal where we pay him about $5 million annually. It looks like both Robert Williams and Luke Dort will be accepting. I don't know if we're going to be able to afford both of them. It looks like we don't have enough money for Robert Williams, but we do get ourselves Luke Dort. We are still in need of a backup center. Who could we bring in? Maybe someone like Andre Drummond. Let's go ahead and offer him a minimum. And is there anybody else here? I did also sign a bunch more players on minimum contracts. We get Nick Richards, Andre Drummond, Malik Beasley, Mike Conley, and Harrison Barnes. We are here at the start of this season with a new and upgraded rotation. So in the starting lineup, we currently have ourselves Jamal Murray, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dyson Daniels, Naz Reid, and Nikola Jokic. And then off the bench, we have Toumani Camara, Luke Dort, Donte DiVincenzo, Andre Drummond, and Dalton Knecht. I am going to be running a 10-man rotation. In most of my videos, I do run 9-man rotations, but I do want to see how things go here if we give Dalton Knecht about 12 minutes per game. Let's see how things go here. The first game is up against the New York Knicks, and we go on to defeat them 127-91. Jokic with 31 and 12, 28 from Kamara, and 20 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. I believe this season our team is going to be absolutely unstoppable. We have the perfect talent on this team to go out there and chase a championship. The next game is up against the Houston Rockets, who we also go on to defeat, this time 151-91. We outscored them by 60 points. And that is just unreal. Murray had himself 33 and 10, 29 from Nickeil, 29 and 17 from Nikola Jokic. And we also go on to defeat the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first week, and yes, we can. So we end up defeating 3 really strong teams, first the New York Knicks, then the Houston Rockets, and now the Oklahoma City Thunder. 128-101, Jokic had 34 and 15, 17 from Murray, and 16 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. We are going to be rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency, pace and space under Daniel Finley. I'm now going to start simulating until the end of this season, but if there are any trades to be made, I will be stopping at the trade deadline to show you all. Our team has made it to the NBA Cup Finals, and we will be taking on the New York Knicks for the NBA Cup, so let's go out there and see if we can win it all. The New York Knicks do have home court advantage on their side. So far we do have the lead, but can we keep it as a question? And yes, we can. We go on to win 115-97, where Murray dropped 29, 16 and 16 from Jokic, and 14 from Dyson Daniels. Nikola Jokic goes on to win NBA Cup MVP, averaging 26, 11 and 7. Nikola Jokic is ready to sign a contract extension with our team, and of course that is our #1 priority, so let's go ahead and extend him for the next 3 seasons, where we pay him about $54 million annually, and he goes on to happily accept. Donte DiVincenzo is also ready, and he only wants a minimum, so let's go ahead and extend him right now as well. There is 1 game remaining to our season, and our boy Nikola Jokic is in the award races to winning MVP, so let's see if he can go on to win that award. And yes, he does. So Nikola Jokic adds 1 more MVP to his collection, averaging 25 points per game, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists. Cameron Boozer, Rookie of the Year for the Warriors, TJ McConnell, 6th Man of the Year, Victor Wembanyama, Defensive Player, Jared McCain, Most Improved, Anthony Edwards goes on to win Clutch Player, our head coach, Daniel Finley, wins Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive. And of course, the MVP, Nikola Jokic, does make it on an All-NBA First Team. Let's see if we have ourselves any more awards. Do we get anybody here on All Defensive Team? And no, we do not. But we did end the season as the #1 seed, winning a total of 73 games and losing only 9. This new roster of ours has been absolutely unstoppable. But now hopefully we're able to continue that success into the playoffs. But let's take a look at the player stats before we start simulating. So here are the player stats for the regular season, where the leading scorer was Nikola Jokic, averaging 25, 11, and 9. 22 from Murray, 17 from Nickeil, 12 from Naz Reid, and 11 from Toumani Camara, 10 from Donte DiVincenzo off of the bench unit. And now it's time to start simulating the playoffs, and in the first round, we are taking on the Houston Rockets. The Rockets have themselves Reed Shepherd, Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Şengün, and this here will be their bench unit. They were the #9 seed, so let's see how things go here. Game #1, we do end up winning. Jokic with a 35-point double-double, 25 from Nickeil, and 16 from Murray. Can we also win Game 2? And yes, we can. Jokic with a 31-point triple-double, 28 from Na, and 14 from Murray. Game #3, we also go on to win 129-103. Jokic leading the way here with 28 and 17. Murray had 26 with 12 assists. And let's see if we could sweep the Houston Rockets. We do not end up sweeping them, but we do go on a gentleman sweep them, eliminating them in Game 5. And Jokic went off here in Game 5 with 49 points, 16 rebounds, and 12 assists. Let's go. In the second round of the playoffs, we're either going to have to take on the San Antonio Spurs or the OKC Thunder. Both teams will be very difficult to defeat, and it will be the Oklahoma City Thunder. They currently have themselves Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Cason Wallace, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein. And this is their bench unit. So let's see how things go here. Game #1 does end up going to the Thunder. They defeat us here by 1 single point, 113-112. What about game #2? We do go on to win game 2 to top the series, 116-107. Murray dropping 29. Naz Reid with an 18-point double-double. Jokic 1 rebound shy of a triple-double. Game number 3, we also going to win, putting us up 2-1. We end up winning game 3, 144-125. Murray had 32, Jokic with a 26-point triple-double and 15 from Dyson Daniels. Let's see what happens in this next game, and that puts us up 3-1. Let's go. Naz Reid with 23, 18, and 10 from Jokic, and all we got to do is win one more game. We do not end up gentlemen sweeping them, but we do end up eliminating the OKC Thunder in game 6. We ended up winning here 131-128, and our leading scorer was Nickeil Alexander-Walker with 26 points. We have made it all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and we're taking on the Golden State Warriors. They have themselves Stephen Curry, Quentin Grimes, Jimmy Butler, Cam Boozer, and Kristaps Porzingis. So it looks like they drafted Cam Boozer here, and he's currently their brand new starting power forward, and this will be their bench unit. They were the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. They won a total of 61 games, so they're a really good team. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Murray with 38, Jokic with a 34-point triple-double. Game number 2 will end up going to the Warriors. They defeat us here by 2 single points. Nickeil had 27, Jokic with 27, but sadly we do fall short. Game number 3, we also going to lose. Okay, so now we fall here 2-1. Warriors are up. They defeat us here in game 3, 135-103. Curry dropping 33 points on us. Murray had 33 as well, but sadly we do end up losing. And we just went down 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors. Holy, they beat us here in game 4, 140-117. Jokic 24, 13-9, 22 from Murray, but again, our defense was pretty awful. I am going to try and shorten our rotation, maybe take Dalton. Well, he's been on fire. Maybe we just keep him in and see how things go. Hopefully we do not get eliminated. And we got eliminated to the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. We end up losing here 4-1. Jimmy Butler, Western Conference Finals MVP. Cade Cunningham, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. The last thing I thought would be happening after winning 73 games in the regular season is being eliminated to the Golden State Warriors in 2027. But of course, they still have Stephen Curry, who's been balling out. And now in the NBA Finals, we have the Detroit Pistons taking on the Warriors. And the Detroit Pistons go on to win in Game 5 with Cade Cunningham winning Finals MVP. And clearly our team is still not championship contenders if we were eliminated to the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference, but the Warriors were a really strong team, but the fact that they lost to the Pistons means we most likely would have lost to the Pistons as well. Let's take a look at the player stats for the playoffs. So we played a total of 16 games, and in those 16 games, Jokic was averaging nearly a 26-point triple-double. 24 from Murray and 18 from Nickeil, and we only had 4 players in double-digit scoring here. And maybe getting ourselves some more consistent offensive players this offseason is something we're going to have to look into, because only having 4 players in double-digit scoring is not going to cut it in the playoffs. Tamani Kamara is definitely a player we're going to get rid of ASAP this coming off season. Bro was absolutely horrible as our 6th man. He was averaging 7.5 points per game while shooting 31% from the 3-point line and 37% from the field. He's definitely getting moved right away. It is draft lottery day, and we do have ourselves a lottery pick via the Miami Heat, and we do have the 12th best odds. So let's see where this ends up. And where did that just go? Okay, so it looks like it was protected sadly, and it goes back to the Miami Heat, but we do end up with the 17th overall pick, and that will be it. For head coaching positions, we do have a lot of people here that we could sign now. Joe Mazzulla is a free agent, so is Ty Lue and Jason Kidd. So I think I'm going to go ahead and fire our current head coach. He was a computer generated bot anyways. And then we'll go ahead and offer some coaches contracts and see which one accepts. Out of all the offers I have sent out there, we could get ourselves Jason Kidd, JJ Redick, or Ty Lue. And honestly, I think Jason Kidd would be the best fit. He's coached Luka Doncic, who plays a lot like Nikola Jokic, so let's see if he could take us to a championship. Jason Kidd is going to be our brand new head coach. It is time for the 2027 NBA draft, where we do have ourselves a 17th overall pick, so let's see which player we'll be able to draft. The number 1 overall pick the Utah Jazz have, and they go on to take Tyrone Stokes. Kings have the 2nd overall pick, they take Christian Collins. The 3rd overall pick the Pelicans have, and they take Elijah Arenas. Now let's skip to our pick and see which players we could draft here. Would it even make sense for us to draft a rookie? It's going to take many years to develop the young player, And in that time, Jokic is not getting any younger, so I think we're going to package the 17th overall pick with Dyson Daniels and see what we could get back in return. There's a lot of good offers here for Dyson Daniels in the 17th overall pick, but we do need ourselves a starting small forward if we're going to be trading away Dyson Daniels. The two trades I'd like most is this trade here with the Phoenix Suns for Dillon Brooks, or this trade with the Minnesota Timberwolves for Jaden McDaniels. And honestly, I feel like McDaniels would be the better fit. He has a lower usage rate, but he basically is doing the same amount of work offensively as Dillon Brooks with a 24 usage rate, 23.5. So I think we're going to be pulling off this trade with the Minnesota Timberwolves, plus we also get ourselves a 2030 first round pick. We will pick up the team option for Dalton Knecht and Vic Krejci. I'm not sure if we need to re-sign anybody here in free agency. Let's go ahead and take a look. And it looks like we don't have to re-sign anybody at all, but we do have about $5.9 million we can spend in free agency. And that $5.9 million I do want to spend it on a backup center, which we currently don't have. And last year we had Andre Drummond, but in the playoffs he was horrible. So we need ourselves a good consistent player, maybe someone like Neemias Queta. He's an 81 overall, he's a good defender, he can rebound and score when we need him to. Other option would maybe be, well, there isn't really many other options, maybe Isaiah Stewart, but again, I think it would be best if we take Queta. So let's go ahead and offer Neemias Queta a 4-year contract, paying him about $5.5 million annually, and he will be accepting on a 4-year, $23 million contract. I was so close to forgetting about trading Toumani Camara. I was about to simulate into next season, and then thankfully I remembered. Bro was happy sitting here thinking he's going to be remaining on this team after that horrible playoff performance. You're definitely getting traded, bud. We're going to try and send him to the Houston Rockets for Jabari Smith Jr., who could either be the 6th man or we can make him the brand new starting power forward. Let's see what the Rockets say. They do decline, but I am going to maybe throw in some more players and some picks. We could give them Dalton Knecht. They still decline. What if we throw in a future first round pick? I will give up 2 first rounders. And okay, so they're still going to decline. What if we throw in some second round picks? And just like that, we land ourselves Jabari Smith Jr. We are here at the start of this season with a new 9-man rotation. And in the starting lineup, we have ourselves Jamal Murray, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Jaden McDaniels, Jabari Smith Jr., and Nikola Jokic. And then off the bench, we have Naz Reid, Luke Dort, Dante DiVincenzo, and Neemias Queta. We are going to be running a 9-man rotation this season, unlike the last season where we were running a 10-man rotation. And now let's simulate the first few games to see how we do. The first game is up against the Boston Celtics, and we going to defeat them 119-106. Murray had 20, 19 from McDaniels, and 17 from Jokic. Let's see if we can also defeat the Washington Wizards here in game 2, and yes we can. We're going to win 127-98. Jokic with a 23-point double-double, 22 from Murray, and 19 from Jabari Smith Jr. Let's take a look at our system proficiency here before we continue simulating. We will be rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency, perimeter centric under Jason Kidd. What if we change that to balance? And it would be a 4.5 star. So honestly, we're going to run with balance and see how things go. I am now going to start simulating until the end of this season, but of course, if there are any trades to be made, I will be stopping at the trade deadline to show you all. I did forget to stop here, but our team won a back-to-back NBA Cup Finals. We defeated the Orlando Magic here 115-111, where Jabari Smith Jr. led the way with 21 points, 18 from Murray, and 17 from Nickeil. At the end of this season, Giannis Antetokounmpo goes on to win an MVP. He's with the Brooklyn Nets somehow. Maybe he signed with them in free agency. Christian Collins, Rookie of the Year with the Sacramento Kings. De'Aaron Fox, 6th man. Victor Wembanyama, Defensive Player. Darius Akuf wins Most Improved. Paolo Banchero, Clutch Player. And our head coach, Jason Kidd, wins Coach of the Year. We also go on to win Executive. We do land ourselves Nikola Jokic on an all-NBA first team. Do we get ourselves any more awards here? And it looks like we do not. But once again, we ended this season as the number 1 seed, winning a total of 63 games and losing only 19. Before we start simulating the playoffs, let's go ahead and take a look at the player stats for the regular season. So our leading scorer was Nikola Jokic, this season averaging 23 points, 11.5 rebounds, and 10 assists. 21 from Murray, 19 from Jabari, 16 from Na, and 13 from Jaden McDaniels. And now it is time for the first round of the playoff. And we're going to be taking on the New Orleans Pelicans, who have themselves Jeremiah Fears, Trey Murphy, Sadiq Bey, Zion Williamson, and Tristan Vukcevic, and Derek Queen as their six men. They do have a pretty stacked team, I'm not going to lie. Every player is an 80 overall or higher except for their starting center. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Murray dropping 32, 20 from Naw, and Jokic had himself a 16-point triple-double. Let's see if we can also go on to win game 2 here, and yes we do, putting us up 2-0. Jabari Smith Jr. leads the way here with 20 points, Jokic 18 and 11. Game number 3, we do also go on to win. This time it's McDaniels leading the way with 27 points, 21 from Murray and 20 from Nikola. Jokic did have himself a triple-double. And are we going to sweep the Pelicans? Yes, we are. We go on to win here in game 4, 132 to 103. Murray had himself 25 points, 24 from Jabari, a 21-point triple-double from Nikola Jokic. And now we're either going to have to take on the Golden State Warriors, the same team that eliminated us last year, or the Oklahoma City Thunder. And of course, it's going to be the Golden State Warriors. And this season, they added Kyrie Irving, so that means this team got better than they already were. So they have themselves Stephen Curry, Kyrie Irving, Quentin Grimes, Cam Boozer, and Kristaps Porzingis. It does look like Cam Boozer has progressed a ton since last year as well. He's now up to an 88 overall. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do go on to win. McDaniels playing amazing basketball here, dropping 35 points. Jokic 1 assist shy of a 26-point triple-double. Game number 2 does end up going to the Warriors, and they defeat us here by 24 points. Smith played amazing, but our defense was pretty awful. Hopefully we are able to win game 3 to put us up 2-1, and it looks like we are going to be losing, and now we are down 2-1. I think I need to come up with a defensive coach game plan here. Maybe have somebody like Jaden McDaniels guard Stephen Curry. Alrighty, I have now come up with a defensive coach game plan. Let's jump into Simcast and see if we could tie up this series. The Golden State Warriors do have home court advantage, and so far they do have the lead here. Can we come back is the question. We are kind of pushing back here in the fourth quarter, and it looks like we will be losing. And now we're down 3-1. We lose here 110 to 108. Murray had 29, 24 from Jabari, 21 and 19 from Jokic. That would really suck if we get eliminated to the Golden State Warriors for the second year in a row. Let's see what happens here. We do have home court advantage. We've seen a team come back many times in real life after they're down 3-1, so hopefully we're able to do the same. We do have home court advantage on our side, and so far we do have the lead, but can we keep it is a question, and it looks like we are going to be keeping the lead. They almost came back there in the fourth quarter, but thankfully we do go on to win. 29 from Murray, 15 from Naw, and 15 from Jabari. We still have to win one more game to top the series and push it to a game 7, so let's see if we're able to do so. The Warriors do have home court advantage, and so far we do have the lead. Can we run away with it? It's still a close game here. We are up by about 10 points. Okay, we are starting to run away with it, and we go on to win 118 to 103. Murray with 26, 24 from McDaniels, and 24 from Jokic. Jokic has been fouling out in a lot of these playoff games for some reason. He's averaging about 3.5 fouls per game. And now it's time for game 7. Winner go home situation. We have to win this game to go to the Western Conference Finals, and thankfully we do have home court advantage on our side. And so far we do have the lead, and it looks like we will be eliminating the Golden State Warriors 131 to 104. Jokic with 32 and 14, 24 from Jabari, and 23 from Murray. And that is what I'm talking about. If I'm being honest here, I did think we were going to be eliminated here to the Golden State Warriors, but thankfully we were able to come back. And now we are in the Western Conference Finals taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. They have themselves Trey Mann, Anthony Edwards, Dyson Daniels, Julius Randle, and Rudy Gobert with Ayo Dosunmu as their sixth man. And in the Eastern Conference Finals, we have the Orlando Magic taking on the Detroit Pistons. Let's see what happens here. Game number 1, we do end up losing 122 to 105. And honestly, I don't want to make the same mistake we made against the Warriors last year and this year almost made. So I'm going to come up with a defensive coach game plan against Anthony Edwards. I do want Jaden McDaniels guarding him, so let me go fix that up. Okay, so the defensive coach game plan has been set for Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, so hopefully that is able to help us out here. Game number 2, we do end up winning. We held them to 112 points. Murray with 34, 24 from McDaniels, and a 22-point triple-double from Jokic. And I did forget to mention, in the series against the Golden State Warriors, I did take Dante DiVincenzo out of our rotation, and now we are rolling with an 8-man rotation. Game number 3, we do go on to win here. Now we're up 2-1, 117-106. Jokic with 34 and 14, 26 from Murray. Can we go up 3-1? And yes, we can. Murray is going off here, dropping 34 points, 30 from Na and 27 from Jabari. Jokic with a 25-point triple-double. All we need to do is win one more game, and then we're going to the NBA Finals, and we do not gentlemen sweep them, but we do end up eliminating the Minnesota Timberwolves here in Game 6. We scored 153 points, 31 from Na, 30 from Murray, 25, 13, and 14 from Jokic. It looks like we do have a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals, the Magic taking on the Pistons, and let's see which team goes on to win here. We will jump into Simcast for them, and whoa, 45 points in the first quarter is insane, and it looks like the Magic will be eliminating the Detroit Pistons. So the Magic get their little get back for the Pistons, eliminating them in real life in the first round of the playoffs. Nikola Jokic, Western Conference Finals MVP, Paolo Banchero, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And now we're taking on the Magic in the NBA Finals, and they have themselves Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and Mitchell Robinson. Alrighty, let's see how things go here in the NBA Finals. Game number 1, we do end up winning 137-102. Jokic with 40 points and 15 assists, 25 from Jabari and 20 from Jaden McDaniels. Game number 2, we do end up losing here in overtime, 138-130. Jokic played amazing, but sadly we do fall short. Game number 3, we do go on to win, putting us up 2-1. We scored 139 points, 34 from Jabari, 21 and 16 from Murray. Jabari Smith has been phenomenal here in the playoffs, 50, 45, 82 shooting splits while averaging 21 points per game. Can we go up 3-1? And no, we cannot. It looks like the Magic will end up defeating us here in Game 4, 122-99. Let's go ahead and jump into Simcast for game number 5 and see what happens. We do have home court advantage on our side, and so far the Magic do have the lead. They are up by about 5 points going into the fourth quarter, and it looks like they are going to defeat us here 124-102. Jokic had 24 and 12, 22 for McDaniels, but what I am going to do is come up with a defensive coach game plan, and then we'll advance to game 6. We have now come up with the defensive coach game plan. Can we tap this series and push it to game 7? Let's see. The Magic do have home court advantage on their side, and so far we have the lead here by quite a bit, and it looks like we are going to be winning this game 137-113. Murray had 34, Jokic with 30 and 13, and 20 from Jaden McDaniels. All we now got to do is win one more game, and then we're winning ourselves a championship. Time for game 7, winner go home situation, and thankfully this time we do have home court advantage on our side. Let's see what happens here. So far it's a close battle, back and forth. We take the lead, and we are starting to run away with it here in the fourth quarter, and we go on to win 132-109. Let's go. Jokic with a 39-point triple-double, 30 from Murray and 21 from McDaniels. And just like that, we go on to win the Denver Nuggets a championship with Nikola Jokic winning Finals MVP, averaging a 30-point triple-double on 50, 40, 79 shooting splits. And that is absolutely amazing. Our second series where a game went to a game 7 and we come out on top. Before I end out this video, let's take a look at the player stats for the playoffs, where we played a total of 24 games. Our leading scorer was Jamal Murray, averaging 24.5 points per game, 24, 12, and 10 from Jokic, 20 from Jabari, 17 from McDaniels, and 15 from Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And then in the NBA Finals, where we played a total of 7 games, the leading scorer was Nikola Jokic, averaging a 30-point triple-double. 20 from Jabari Smith Jr., 20 from Murray, and 19 from Jaden McDaniels. And that is going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 videos, and click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.